Hello, hello. Welcome to the cover reveal of All Hail the Kin by Ethan A. Cooper. How are you doing this evening, Ethan?
I'm doing well, Kelly. How about you?
Not bad. For a minute, I couldn't say your last name in my head. Isn't that funny?
That's quite all right.
Right?
I've
Because
been
your
called
last
worse
name is
things.
so complicated.
That's right.
I
Yes.
love it. I love it. So hopefully that makes you feel better because we get to have you read, and I know you're a little nervous about it, and there's nothing to be nervous about because look, I'm supposed to be the professional here, and I can't say
That's right.
Cooper.
I always tell everybody, like, I know how to spell. I just can't type, so when I'm writing this book, I'll misspell the most common word, even though I know how it's spelled. My fingers just. So sometimes that's the way our tongues work. So
I
we'll be
feel you.
okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, this is the last first book in the Misplaced Adventures what do we call it? Expansion that we're doing. So in the 6 series that have added to the incredible world that Kevin Petway built. So how do you feel about being the last first book?
I feel awesome about it. I This book was, and not as only as the story is an adventure, but writing the book was an adventure like nothing I've been on over the past year and a half. So I'm very excited to have this thing almost out there, and it's been a quite a journey in creating it and learning about Kevin's awesome world that he created, and him giving us the chance to play in it.
Yeah, it is really, really fun. So let's not torment the people any longer. Let us reveal the cover. Oh, look at
Ta-da!
that. I love that green is your color, and we were able to
Yep.
do this stunning, stunning cover.
Yes. There's some interesting details in there that are quite mysterious, perhaps. I mean, I see
It's
two
pretty fun.
silhouettes,
Uh-huh. There's all kinds of cool things
weapons.
going on. Before we talk about who is on the cover, let me read the back cover copy. Once a year, Tyrak asks Layla to marry him. Once a year, she answers no. She has no choice. She and Tyrak are kin, and the kin have rules. Rules written by the gods themselves. As a priestess, Layla has dedicated her entire life to the reclusive kin and the forgotten gods they worship. Even if it means enforcing their brutal dictates, even if it means she can't be with the man she loves. Despite his fractured faith in the gods, there's little Tyrak won't do for Layla. But after years of compliance for Layla's sake, Tyrak finds himself unable to turn a blind eye to her violent deeds. As their relationship crumbles, the two are selected to undertake a quest few have taken, and even fewer have survived. They must leave the safety of their home and travel across the treacherous expanse of Andos in search of a hidden underground city in a far-off realm. Along with an elegant warrior princess, a temple librarian, a newly converted outsider, and two bratty teenagers, Layla and Tyrak find themselves far from home and pursued across unfamiliar land by ex-kin intent on subverting their mission at any cost. The journey will test Layla and Tyrak like never before, forcing them to confront the countless dangers of the outside world, the truth of the kin, and the devastating reality of how far they are willing to go for what they believe and for each other. Oh, so exciting! I love it. I love it. So now that we talked about the two main characters here, can you tell us who's on the cover?
So it looks like we have Layla and Tyrek on the cover. Layla there with her, she's a priestess of the kin and
Mhm.
quite skilled in herbology and potion making, things like that. Um, and then Tyrek is he's the what should we call him? He's the leader of the he helps train people in martial arts. So he's quite skilled in hand-to-hand combat and weapons and things of that nature. And he is very dedicated to Layla, shall we say. So
Very dedicated. I mean, he's determined to make her his, which she kind of is in a way already. They just can't make it official. And I just love it. I just love it. I'm just so much enjoying this book. Um, so you put them in this very secret society hidden off in the forest of Cedros?
yes, that's correct.
Yes, right? Okay. So it's hidden in the forest of Cedros. Um, why why did you decide to start there in this secret society?
Well, I've always wanted to write about sort of a cult or, a closed off society of some sort. Just been sort of fascinating to me, that sort of mindset. I did want to tell a love story. I wanted to see how love survives in that sort of situation, especially when it pits them against each other. So I wanted to deal with that. I wanted to talk about faith and truth and love and all these things all together. So I honestly just put it all together. You put your characters right in the middle of something that is uncomfortable for them and see if they can survive it. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
100% into it. No, I love it. It's a very creative way to introduce us to the characters and this society in a way that's so visceral. So I love it. And it's visceral. This cult is not exactly a God loves you kind of cult.
Yeah. They are the gods have written down rules and you have to obey them. And so this book is sort of the introduction to all of that. What are the consequences of the gods in this world giving you rules? And what if if the gods are real and you obey them, that can have consequences for you, your life, and your loved ones, your family, and how you interact with everybody around you.
100%. Yeah, Kevin says it's a thriller, spy, fantasy, horror, humor, love story.
That's right.
It's your fault again, Kevin. You built this universe.
Right.
This universe just lends itself to so many like subgenres of, incredible storytelling. So love it.
And Kevin helped me take my nugget of an idea and sort of form that into how does this fit in there and how can we make this work and how can we integrate it? And we have some good plans coming up. So not even just in this book, it's going to get even more epic than this first book for sure.
That's fantastic. I look forward to it. Yeah, no, that's going to be fun. So so Tyrak and Layla are the main characters, but they have a whole group of people that they end up taking along with them. I'm sure they're really happy about that, aren't they?
Well, there's when you're serving the gods and you believe that that's your duty, then you can be very, very happy about that, even if it does take you away from your family. And then if you don't believe in the gods or you have doubts, then maybe this isn't such a happy event. And so that's where a decent amount of the conflict is going to come from.
Yeah.
But when you've been closed off and you don't know much about the world, being thrust into the outside world is a great opportunity to explore that wonder and the danger that's out there and being unprepared for it and seeing how they survived or don't, depending. We'll see how it goes.
I know. You never know. There's some real stakes in this book. So
yeah,
excellent. Well, I love the cover. I'm glad you got green. It just totally works here. And I know that you have a section to read for us. Do you need to give us any background before you dive in?
No, I'll just say that this chapter is 15 chapters in. It's called the Binding Ritual. Part of what they do is they have rituals for everything. I tried to keep it down. My editor probably had me take out a couple rituals, but this one remained in because it's important. Yeah, this one is sort of important, and we just sort of amped out it. There'll be some names in here that you can pretty much ignore. Know that. Don't worry about who's who. Tyrak and Layla are the main characters in there who are most important. So,
yeah, excellent.
All right. This is chapter 15, The Binding Ritual, and this is from Tyrak's point of view. Tyrak's tolerance for kin ceremony had never been tested as much as it had in the days after the choosing. There seemed to be no end to the number of rituals required to prepare for escorting two obnoxious brats to their destiny. All the ritual circles, the bowls of wood and stone, each filled with foul-smelling liquids and powders, the recitations from the holy books, the blood and pain. On the eve of their departure, in a chamber within the temple of the twin gods, each member of the assembly stood within the confines of one of 7 circles traced in powdered bone dust. Their shivs rested between their bare feet, blades pointed in toward the center. A large circle circumscribed the 7 circles, and each of the 7 was connected to the others via double lines inset with runes and symbols. 2 focus lines bisected the large circle. Where the lines crossed, twin candles had been set, providing minimal light to the chamber. The hallowed stood solemnly at opposite ends of the room, each holding a holy book, a binding ritual. Tarek felt a tangible ache in his chest at being forced to participate in a binding ceremony with Layla that didn't involve him sliding marriage rings onto her toes. It seemed like the gods took great delight in tormenting him and would continue to do so for the rest of his life. The members of the assembly wore only the thinnest of shifts, each dyed different shades of red. Layla's was the darkest crimson, almost black in the dim, flickering light. The gleam of her skin and the way that her clothing wafted around her body was an alluring, intoxicating sight. Layla showed no sign that her diaphanous attire bothered her, and Tarek knew that it truly didn't. He couldn't observe the same for the rest of the assembly. Ember and Jock stood there, backs straight and proud, as if no circumstance could ever chip away at their dignity. But Stev, Liz, and Alf shuffled their feet every few seconds, chins dipped, eyes down to avoid what they might find if their gazes met. Festus said, "Take your sacred shiv into your right hand and place the tip into the palm of your left hand until you bleed. Then do the same with your right hand. When that is complete, return your weapon to its original place." Of the seven, only Alf and Ember made a sound when they pierced their flesh. Alf grunted and Ember squeaked. Smyrna cradled the book of Viv, but didn't need to look at it when she recited, "Flesh into flesh, blood into blood, life into life. With every beat of their hearts, with every drop of blood, I bind my children to me and to each other, in this life, in the next, and unto eternity. Honor this bond and your reward will be great. Break this bond and your suffering will be unimaginable, in this life, in the next, and unto eternity." "Repeat after me," Festus said. "If the bond breaks, the body bursts." Tyrek said it along with the others. "Now, from lowest to highest, take the blood of your sisters and your brothers onto your lips," Festus instructed. Alf looked hesitant, like an animal that couldn't figure out how to please their master. Still, he stepped forward, turned, and quickly raised Tyrek's palm to his lips. When he had done this with each of them, he returned to his circle. Next highest in rank, Tyrek did his duty and kissed the palms of his fellow kin. When he got to Layla, the ache in his chest intensified. He imagined giving her the kiss he wanted to, instead of this chaste, blood-tinged peck to the middle of her palm, which still bore the faded marks from her last atonement. He pushed aside a twinge of regret. Smyrna provided further instructions. "Lick the blood of your brothers and sisters from your lips. Take it against your tongue. Taste it. Take their life into your body, and by doing so, bind yourself to them." Tyrek watched the assembly, their tongues darting out to lap at unnaturally red lips, seeking the tang of blood, and upon finding it, drawing it in, followed by the brief spasm of their throats as they swallowed. Of the seven, only Layla appeared to not have to fight a gag reflex. Ember actually bent down and dry heaved once, though she somehow did it with a calm dignity, as if this was something you might expect to see a princess do on any given day. When all the lips had been cleansed, Festus and Smyrna slammed their holy books closed and proclaimed, "It is finished. The binding is complete. All hail Kak. All hail Viv. All hail the kin," the assembly responded in unison. Tyrek wiped at his mouth with the back of his hand. Layla looked quite satisfied, as she often did at the completion of an important ritual. Leaving immediately was the smart thing to do. Getting some distance from Layla would ease the pain, but instead of doing the smart thing, Tyrek stepped near her. He kept his voice low so the hallowed wouldn't hear. "Please tell me we're done with the binding rituals. Don't make light of what we did here. It is a sacred thing for the assembly to be bound to each other in this way, and it's important that everybody here understands that, especially the younger kin." Layla's lips, still spotted with blood, turned up as she smiled. "Besides, I thought you said there was no limit to the number of rituals you'd enter into with me." Tyrek leaned as close as he could without getting into trouble in front of the hallowed. He could feel the heat of her cheek, her shift wafted against the back of his hand. "I'm already bound to you, Layla. I don't need another ritual to prove it." "That's not what this..." He met her eyes, letting his agony show. "Don't ask me to do anything like this ever again. I can't bear it." Watching her eyes frantically search his, letting her see what was plainly there, was like staring into the sun. It hurt. After a few moments, she nodded, her eyes glistening. He left knowing he'd asked her to make a vow she wouldn't be able to keep. There would there would be another ritual. There always was. But at least now she knew how much it hurt him.
Oh my gosh. I just love it. This like relationship between those two, it's my favorite part. Like you have all this stuff going on, there's so many things going on, but I am living for this relationship. So, yeah, Northern Lights is like hype, hype, hype. You believe it. Oh my gosh, I just love it.
And that's they have that's in the first part of the story. So
mhm.
it gets better or worse depending on your opinion, depending on where you're standing.
As you see the next announcements, never mind, Ethan A. Cooper will be writing no more books because he made me very mad with the ending. I haven't gotten there yet. I have no idea. We're going to find out. So I'm very excited. But no, that's incredible. So I'm so excited to release this book out. I'm having so much fun reading it. And this stunning cover is going to look so nice next to the other 5. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it's an awesome cover. I really appreciate the work that was done on that. It's quite enticing. Very happy with it.
Cool. That's pretty cool. And Ethan, you are an artist yourself, so we're actually going to have some of your art inside the book as well.
Yes, excellent. Yep, that's I got plans for the next ones as well. As things continue to slide downward.
Sorry, I'm laughing because Jen just asked, Ethan, did you join any cults as research for this book?
Oh my goodness. No, as a matter of fact, I'm one of those really bad about research people. I'm like, I'll just make it up.
Well, that's the benefit to being a fantasy. The only thing you have to be accurate to are the rules of this world. You know what I mean? Right. You don't have to actually research anything else except this world. So, yeah,
that's right.
It's very exciting.
That's right.
Well, Ethan, thank you so much. Thank you for being on. And this book comes out May 21st, right? Right. Yep. Yes. So May 21st, we'll have the launch live on our channels here and at 8 p.m. Central. And if you want a early copy, there will be ARCs going out. And Ethan, so if they want an early copy, where can they contact you? You have a website, newsletter?
Yeah, you can just, I don't have a newsletter at the moment, but you can email me. It's really difficult. It's ethancooper@gmail.com. So just all together. See, I got it Gmail early enough where I picked my actual name.
You have your name.
Yeah.
Yep. That's going to be the part where it's like, we're going to know our ages by the fact that our name is actually our email.
That's right. Hey, at least it's not at AOL.com.
That's true. There's still a few of those around. I've seen them. But awesome. All right. You are wonderful, Ethan. Congratulations on this first book with us. Yes. And we are very excited. Yay.
I'm as well. It's going to be awesome. Right. Lots of fun.
Lots of fun. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming out.